Welcome to this peaceful sleep journey. Tonight, we will drift back more than 2,000 years in time to ancient Rome to explore the quiet, lesser-told story of Julius Caesar's childhood. This isn't the tale of battles or politics. Instead, it's a gentle, slow-moving walk through the earliest years of a boy who would one day become one of the most influential figures in history. There will be no conflict here, no urgency, only calm, slow storytelling, meant to help your mind soften, settle, and drift. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let the calmness surround you. Part 1. The world Julius was born in to picture ancient Rome. Not the Rome of triumph and empire that many people imagine, but a quieter place, a place still finding its identity, filled with winding streets, soft lamplight, and families whose daily lives were simple. It was into this world on a warm summer day in the year 100 BCE that Gaius Julius Caesar was born. His family was well respected, but not wealthy. They belonged to an old lineage, the Julian clan, a family that believed they descended from the goddess Venus herself. But for now, Caesar was just a baby, wrapped in soft cloth, sleeping in his mother's arms. Life in Rome was steady, rhythmic. The city breathed with the sounds of footsteps on stone, merchants calling out in the markets, and gentle conversations echoing through courtyards. As an infant, Julius would have heard these sounds without understanding them, but they would have shaped his earliest impressions of the world. Part 2. The household. Julius grew up in a modest yet dignified home on the slopes of the Subura district. Their house wasn't extravagant, but it was filled with warmth, tradition, and a sense of purpose. His father, also named Gaius Julius Caesar, was a quiet, steady-minded man. He held a respected position, working in governance, but he was not known for ambition. He preferred peace, stability, and the comfort of family. His mother, Aurelia, was strong, disciplined, and intelligent. She cared deeply about her children and ran the household with gentle precision. The young Caesar would have spent his earliest days hearing the soft footsteps of servants, the rustle of his mother's clothing as she moved through the rooms, and the calming murmur of voices discussing the simple routines of Roman life. There would be warm sunlight slipping through open courtyards, the scent of olive oil and fresh bread, the distant clatter of pots and pans as meals were prepared, a childhood filled not with noise, but with an atmosphere of steady calm. Part 3. Early learning. As soon as he was old enough, Caesar began to learn. Education in Rome began early. Though he was only a child, his mother and a private tutor would gently guide him through the basics. He learned to read by tracing letters on wax tablets, slowly, patiently. He learned to write with a small stylus, pressing carefully so the lines appeared clearly and evenly. He learned numbers, beginning with simple counting games using stones or wooden pieces. Lessons were not rushed. They were mindful, steady moments. His tutor's voice would be soft and repetitive, letting information settle through calm repetition. In the afternoons, Aurelia might read aloud to him, not dramatic stories, but simple ones, tales of ancestors, myths told in gentle tones, and small moral lessons. These early teachings created the foundation of a mind that would one day be strategic and analytical. But at this time, it was simply a curious child's mind, absorbing the world. Part 4. The rhythm of daily life. Daily life for young Julius followed a predictable, soothing pattern. In the mornings, He would wake to the sound of household movement, quiet footsteps, the crackle of a small fire being prepared, the murmur of morning conversations. He would eat simple meals, bread, cheese, fruit. During the day he might play quietly in the courtyard, perhaps with small carved figures, perhaps watching birds flutter overhead. Evenings were peaceful, lamps would be lit, voices would become low. The house would settle into calm stillness. This consistency created a sense of stability that shaped his early personality. Now for Part 5, Family Traditions. Roman families valued tradition deeply, and Caesar would have participated in small rituals throughout his childhood. On certain days, his family would make small offerings at the household shrine, a simple, quiet ceremony meant to bring blessing and protection. Julius likely watched these rituals with wide, calm eyes, absorbing the slow movements of his parents, the glow of a small flame, the gentle scent of incense. There were festivals as well, though not wild ones. Many were peaceful public gatherings where families wandered the streets, listening to music, eating simple treats, and watching performances. For a child, these events felt magical without being overwhelming. Soft colors, warm torches, gentle laughter. Part 6. Observing the city. As he grew older, Caesar would have walked through the city more often, holding his parents' hands, taking in the world around him. Rome in those days was a mix of old and new, quiet back streets contrasting with busier market squares. He would notice the cool shade under stone archways, the texture of cobblestones beneath his sandals, the soft flutter of laundry drying between buildings, the calm conversations of neighbors exchanging greetings. These were the slow impressions that shaped his sense of place. Even in its busiest moments, there was always a corner of Rome where stillness could be found. Part 7. Influences and mentors. Every child has people who guide them, and Caesar's early mentors were gentle, thoughtful individuals. His tutor, a patient Greek scholar, believed deeply in quiet learning. He taught Caesar stories of ancient heroes, but told them slowly, focusing not on the battles, but on the virtues, discipline, patience, wisdom. These lessons filled Caesar's mind with a steady sense of curiosity, not ambition, not yet, just curiosity. Other elders in the family would tell stories as well. They told him about ancestors, describing their lives in soft tones, how they lived, how they worked, what they valued. These stories were like gentle threads connecting him to the past. Part 8. Young Friendships. Caesar's childhood included friendships with other children in his neighborhood. They played simple games together, rolling wooden hoops, tossing small stones, inventing imaginary worlds. Their laughter was quiet, not disruptive, the kind of laughter that drifts lightly through summer air. Even disagreements among children passed calmly and quickly. In this peaceful environment, Caesar learned cooperation and patience. These childhood friendships may not have lasted into adulthood, but they shaped the softness of his earliest years. Part 9. Early Signs of Personality. Even as a child, Caesar had small hints of the traits he would carry through life. He was observant, slow to speak, quick to notice. He liked listening more than talking. He enjoyed routines, familiar places, and gentle structure. These early impressions reveal a child who is thoughtful and sensitive to the world around him. Not yet a leader, not yet a visionary, just a quiet boy, growing, learning, absorbing. Part 10. The Passing of Time. The years of Caesar's childhood moved slowly, each season bringing quiet changes. Spring brought soft breezes, and the scent of flowers drifting through open doorways. Summer brought warm evenings, where he might sit outside with his family, listening to calm conversations beneath the stars. Autumn brought harvests, baskets of fruit, and a shift in the sunlight. Winter brought cool mornings, the warmth of cloaks, the soft crackling of fires. These yearly cycles gave his childhood a natural rhythm that helped him feel grounded. Part 11. Family Challenges. Though his childhood was calm, Caesar's family was not wealthy, and they occasionally faced small difficulties. But these were quiet struggles, nothing dramatic. Sometimes the household needed to stretch its resources. Sometimes decisions had to be delayed. Sometimes opportunities were modest. These challenges taught Caesar patience and resilience. His mother's steady presence kept the home peaceful, even during such moments. Part 12. His father's influence. Caesar's father, though understated, was a grounding figure. He was gentle with discipline, preferring guidance to punishment. He taught Julius to be respectful, to listen, to carry himself with calm dignity. He would show him documents, maps, or small tools related to his work, not expecting him to understand everything, but simply planting seeds of familiarity. These quiet lessons helped shape Julius' gradual understanding of responsibility. Part 13. His mother's strength. Aurelia, his mother, played an even stronger role. She was known in Rome for her intelligence, composure, and unwavering presence. She created a home environment that was structured yet gentle. She encouraged learning, self-control, and thoughtful behavior. Many historians believe she had a profound influence on Caesar's development, but in this story, in childhood, she is simply a warm and guiding presence. Part 14. A quiet childhood. Overall, Julius Caesar's childhood was not dramatic. It was not filled with major events. It was peaceful, steady, predictable, the kind of childhood that allows a young mind to grow slowly and naturally. And though history often remembers Caesar's adulthood as turbulent and ambitious, his earliest years were surprisingly calm. Part 15. Drifting toward sleep. As we near the end of this story, let your mind soften even more. Imagine the young Caesar lying in his small bed made of simple linens, a gentle Roman night settling in around him, soft torchlight flickering in the courtyard, the distant sound of voices fading. The city grows quiet, and just as he drifted to sleep more than 2,000 years ago, you can drift now, slowly, easily, peacefully. Good night.